Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here with you all today, and I'm super excited to be here with Tina. This is going to be amazing. We're going to spend a wonderful Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, depending on where in the world you are. So I am super excited to be with you all today. Before we get started with the live demo, well, my name is Maria. I am your host for today. And as I mentioned, I'm here with artist Tina Hotchkiss. And today we are bringing you another Etcher Studio free live demo. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to ask you if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notified of every new demo. You can also subscribe to our newsletter. And with our newsletter, you will also get informed of every new live demo. You will get updates on products. And just make sure that we are whitelisted because sometimes we get sent to spam. So if you whitelist us, we'll make sure that we show up in your inbox. Then also click on the bell here on YouTube so you make sure that you get every notification. Now, I'm also going to be dropping a link to a live demo survey. This is for us to know if we're bringing you the content you want. We read every single comment, so go ahead and leave us your comments. It's going to be great for us to read from you and what else you want and what other artists you want to work with us. So that's going to be great too. Now, if you have any questions for Tina for today, please type the word question all in caps and then follow it with your question. This makes it easier for me to pick out the questions from the chat when I see them. I will be asking them to Tina if they're relevant to what she's doing at the moment, and otherwise I will save them for the Q&A portion at the end. I am seeing all of your questions, so don't worry about it. Now, today we have a 1 hour time limit, but before we get started, Tina, we would love to take a quick tour of your sketchbook.
Sure. I actually have my sketchbook kind of taped down, but I can show you some little things that I've done here. This is actually this scene here that we're going to be working on today. But of course, it's not going to look exactly like this again. It never can, especially the way I paint. But I can just kind of flip through some scenes that I have here. These are just very simple landscapes, different color palettes, working with ink over the watercolor. Oops, that's actually one of Etcher's when I did a Etcher workshop. And there's some more. So there's lots and lots. I've got lots of them. Lots of fun.
There you go.
Lots of them. This one's using black gesso. If you took the other workshop that I had, or class, the 3-hour class. Another one. Just working with different color schemes. And that's pretty much what we are going to be. Oh, here's another one. I have them all over the place here. And then I can show you a couple of more things that this is a very abstract landscape using the watercolor to its finest, using the color splashes, and then here is one where I'm using masking and watercolor with ink.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Thank you. Now I lost my I lost it. Where did it go?
One of the things we love from our Etcher community is that we're all over the world. So today we have viewers from Canada, from Minnesota, from Texas, Chicago, Missouri, Michigan, so all over. And where are you located, Tina?
I'm in Michigan.
Aha.
Yes, I'm in the Ann Arbor area.
So everywhere. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. We have I have my inspiration here. You know, I call it an inspiration because you don't want your photo to dictate your creativity, at least in the way I do things. I want to have fun with my painting, so I am not going to be really particular that this tree is exactly here and it looks exactly like that, or this bush or whatever. We're going to be working with big shapes and then going into the smaller shapes, and we're going to be working very small here. I took the Perfect Sketchbook and I love it. I love the paper and the Etcher's Perfect Sketchbook. The cover, you can wipe it clean. I just feel like I can take this anywhere that I want. And you can see that I tape this off so that I have 4 quadrants, so I can do these little paintings in here. And I use these as studies to look at my colors and all of that. So
also for our audience, in case you don't know, our Perfect Sketchbook is 300-gram acid-free, artist grade, 100% cotton called pressed paper. So they're a little bit heavy than our usual other Etcher sketchbooks. And also we are a vegan friendly brand. I don't know if you knew that, but we are completely vegan friendly.
Yeah, it's so it actually, the paper is so heavy. I have this taped here. I'll show you. I'm actually not done with this piece, but I used this with a water soluble pen that bleeds out all these different colors. And if you look on the next page, it didn't bleed through. That's pretty awesome with this sketchbook. So, yep, love that. Okay, my supplies that I'm going to be using, Daniel Smith paints. I'm going to be using a couple of the Etcher's brushes. I'm going to be using the number 12 and the number 3. And you can see how small and detailed they will get. I'm also going to be using a quill. This is a Neptune quill for my big strokes. And we might be adding color pencils. It just depends on what I have, probably will be. And I also have the Etcher fine liner, and this is the 05. So it's pretty fine that I might be adding to. So I have also a spray bottle here that I'm going to be using. It's a trigger spray bottle, so it's going to be giving me splurts of water, and they're going to be these splashes of water that that I'll be able to paint into. So we have this scene here, and I'm going to be thinking about colors, and I want to really limit my palette. So the colors that I'm thinking of, and I have them right here. I'm going to be using Quinzerdone Gold, which is right here. And I'm going to put just a little bit of Henza yellow in it, just a little bit on some parts, and some parts just using the Quinzerdone Gold. And you'll understand when we get to that point. I'm also going to be using Undersea Green, and that's right here, the Undersea Green. And you can see how wet I sprayed my palette before and activated all of my colors, very, very wet. And then the other color that I'm going to be using is Cerulean Blue, which is right here. Very, very wet to get some color in there. And let's look at these colors just by themselves so that you can see them. So here's my Under the Sea Green. Let me get this stirred up here a little bit more. So here's my Under the Sea Green. It's a very natural green. It's a very nice combo with the quinzerdone. Here's, I mix a little bit of that, and you can see that the greens that I get through that, very, very nice. And then the quinzerdone gold. See the gradation that I'm getting. And then when I add just a little bit of that Henza, to really clean my brush here. When I add just a little bit of that Henza, it brightens that gold up just a tad. So I've got a nice gradation of natural gold to green. And then of course, if I use the green darker, I can get into a dark. And then if I want to, I can add cerulean to this. And there's my color palette. So I'm keeping it pretty natural, and I'm keeping it pretty simple with my colors. So I have a green, a yellow, and a blue, but very warm green and a very warm yellow with the cooler yellow of the Henza.
And is that Under the Sea Green granulating a little bit?
It is, and so does cerulean. It will. So you're going to get these really granulating pieces in your work. And quinzerdone gold has this where it changes as it dries too. You can see it is a really good mate with the blues and greens. That's what I really like it for, these natural scenes. Okay, so that's a close look at our palette, and we're just going to go right in here. I like to start out with spraying little dots, and you can see I'm just spraying these little tiny dots all over my paper. And I'm going to be working in this quadrant, and then I'm going to be working down here. I'm going to start out with my...
Sorry, Tina. Before we go ahead, can you give us a quick repeat of the colors?
Yes. I have Under the Sea Green, quinzerdone gold, and cerulean blue. And Henza yellow is that lighter yellow that I stuck in there that I might need. But most of my painting is going to be done with the green, the Undersea Green, and the gold. And we have a question here. Yeah.
If you happen to know the pigment number for the Under the Sea Green.
No, I don't. And I don't have the tube right here. I'd have to hump for that. So sorry. Yeah. I've never been asked that, actually. Okay, so I'm looking at big shapes. And you can see that my paint is running. I have my my easel. I have my easel at about 10, 15 degrees. So my paint is running. And I'm looking at the back trees here to get some of the shapes that are in that. And then I'm going to go with these over here and just kind of trickle that down. And you can see that where it's granulating, where this color is granulating. And then I can stick in a little bit darker pigment. And pretty much, you know, with watercolor, it's going to look like a mess at first. And you just have to just tell yourself, hey, it's going to look better. It's going to look better. I promise. It'll look better. Okay. And now I'm going to plop in some other colors. So I'm going to go into my gold. And you can see I didn't put this in there yet. These trees. I'm thinking about these that are in the back right here and this. So I'm going to plop in some other colors here. This is my gold, Quinzerdone gold. And then I'm going to add more of that gold in the horizontal part of the scene, the ground plane. And I've got a drip, like a really bad drip here. So I'm just going to take that along the tape and keep my tape area pretty clean. I'm going to go into that Henza and just kind of lighten up, just to add just a little bit of that more yellow, light yellow. And then the gold, you can see how dark that gold can be right there. How dark. So it has this nice yellow cast to it, and that's what's so cool about the Quinzerdone gold. And then back here, I'm going to take this a little bit of this cerulean back here because this is back. So it should be bluer, hazier in the back. And then as you go forward, it's going to get warmer color in the foreground as you go in the foreground. And I'm going to do the tops of these trees. I'm going to show you the way to do the tops of those. So I'm kind of leaving that right now. And then I want to bring this down a little bit right in here. So I'm going to plop in some darker colors and then have it fade the top a little bit to give us some I'm looking at these. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, ask if you're using the photograph then as a guide to your tonal values.
Yeah, see the darks that are in here. I'm just plopping in some darks in here.
Because I noticed you didn't do a drawing.
Nope. No, I didn't do a drawing. Now I'm going to take this the cerulean and just put just a hint of a sky up in here. That's going to fade into my trees, kind of bleed in to my trees. And like I said, it looks like a mess right now, but there's a method here.
And we have a question here if your sketchbook is flat or is it tilted?
It's tilted about a 10 degrees, 15 degrees. I'm going to do these trees that are here in a certain way to show you. So I'm kind of leaving those. And then these other trees that are more in the foreground. This is more of the background. And you hopefully you're starting to see a shape coming here where this lighter area that's here, I'm taking a thirsty brush and making a lighter area here, here, right in here. I see lighter areas. Just taking that thirsty brush. Okay. That's my underpainting for that one. And how are we doing on time? I'm going to.
We are 20 minutes in.
Okay, sweet. This one, I think I'm going to start with yellow on this one.
We have a question if you would tilt your sketchbook anyways, or if it's tilted for the demonstration.
Oh, no, I would tilt it so that my paint runs. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a good question. Nope, I usually paint at a tilt. Sometimes I'll tilt it even more. This one, we're going to try just getting even looser with this one. And just, I have a lot of paint. And we're just going to let this really run. A lot of paint, a lot of water. We're just going to let that run down. And then we're going to put some blue in here and let that, and you can see that I'm just getting a little bit more daring with this one, and we're just going to see and see about the colors. You know, maybe we like it with a little bit more blue in there, and maybe I'll leave more of the white of the paper.
So would you say these are preparatory work before doing any larger painting?
Yes, this is how I play. This is playing. This is, well, no, the whole thing's always playing, but but this is where I have no expectations. You don't want to say you have to have a piece that is going to, that you're going to frame, or this is where you're just playing. Playing with what you have. So that's what I'm doing. I'm playing. Let's see. I think I want to take some of this out. That's right here. So I'm just going to make a thirsty brush and take some of that out. And you can see that once I do that, it actually makes the ground, because the ground is light. And what is horizontal, which are or what is vertical, which are the trees, they're darker. So that's all I'm doing. And you can see that it's starting to make. Okay, we're just going to leave that at that. And then I'm going to dry this. So I'm going to, I probably should mute, right?
Yes, and I will be giving everyone another announcement while you while you dry it. So if you would like to enroll for Tina's workshop, please go ahead and do so in this link. I'm going to drop that link here. And you can enroll in her workshop. It's going to be July 15th. And you're going to be learning more about Tina's techniques, and you'll be able to participate actively on a follow class where she will be teaching you how to achieve loose landscapes in watercolor. So go ahead and sign up. It's going to be at 5 p.m. LA time on July 15th. And while Tina continues trying, I am also going to remind you that we do sell out. So make sure that you sign up fast and book your place.
Okay, I'm back here. I have, I hope you were done. Were you done?
Yes, we actually have a question.
Sure.
So the first question is, what is a thirsty brush?
Yes, the thirsty, oh, that's a good question here. The thirsty brush is I take my towel. So my brush is wet. So I take my towel and then I can take it and lift. So that's a thirsty brush. So you can see areas that I lifted with that thirsty brush.
Mm-hmm. And the second question is, the second sketch that you were showing us right now, the one in the bottom, yeah. Did you also spray it with water, or was it wet on dry?
I sprayed it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And then the final one is, the darkest color is Undersea Green, right?
Undersea Green, yes, I would say that that's probably has the darkest value. It can have the darkest value, yes.
All right, we covered.
But also the Cerulean Blue, when you add it in there, you know, that's pretty dark in there. So it just depends on how, and I'm going to get into, if you take the longer 3-hour class, we're going to really talk about the wet of the paper and all that. Now I'm going to take my squirt bottle and I'm going to make little, I'm going to do these trees here. And I'm going to put little bits of water, as little tiny dots of water on here for that. Okay, little tiny dots, and then I'm going to take Etcher's brush number 3, and I'm going into the Undersea Green. And what I'm going to do is just pull up like the stem or the trunk, I guess I should say, the trunk of the tree. And you can see that it's hitting those water droplets. And it's going to make, I make these little dashes and dots as I go. And it's making that tree for me. And I can go into that pile of wet paper and you can see what it's doing. I'm hitting those, see how I hit a dot there? There's another one it hit. There's more. And it's hitting these. And I'm just helping it along by just bringing the, and it's making a wonderful tree. I'm going to add there's more pigment on my brush now, a lot. And you see, this is called charging, where you charge into that water droplet. And you can see that it's giving me a nice edge and darker values in that. So I'm going to move looking at the Zoom, and I'm going to move this over so I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay. Now I'm going to take Cerulean Blue, and I'm going to charge it in there. And you can see how that color just, oh, goes in. Hopefully you're seeing that. I think you are.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Nice. And then I'm going to add some of the Quinzerdone in there. And you can see how that's making a nice tree for me there. Now I'm going to shield here. I lost my picture. I'm going to shield here, and I'm going to squirt again with my squirt bottle because I'm going to do the other tree that's beside it. And I got a drop that went down, and that's fine. Do you see these edges where you're getting a hard line there?
Yep.
See these hard lines? These edges over here are all soft.
Yeah.
Right? Except we have little pockets of white showing. Now, since I dried the paper, we're getting that. I've got a big droplet like right here. So I'm just going to take my towel and then I'm going to bring this one goes outside the page. So I'm bringing the trunk up and then start my little dashes and dots. As I go. Do you see how faded that side is? That's good because this one's in front. And if like right here, if you're not getting dark enough there, see it's still accepting my dark. But let's say it's not. Let's say that it's just not getting dark. Well, it's because it's too wet. And you just have to wait until it's ready for you to paint into it. And then as this dries over here, I can add more to it as I go. And then I can just trickle this down for the bottom part of this tree. And I'm going to take my bigger brush, and I'm using the Etcher 12, and I can pull that down, use the point of the brush, and then just keep going to do the other side of this tree. I failed to do that, right? I got to get this other side of this tree, and you can see that the little pockets showing the background.
Yeah.
Whoops, that was like too much paint. My paint is really wet here. There we go. That's what I want.
This paper takes a long time to dry.
Yeah, especially here in Michigan, it is so humid today. I was out plein air painting today, and my paper didn't dry. It was a bust. It was really bad. The paper just did not dry. And then I'm going to put some gold, some of the Quinzerdone gold at the bottom right here to show that that's the horizontal part. Okay, now I see that like everything back here kind of disappeared, didn't it? So I'm going to put some color back there. No worries. Put just a little bit of that cerulean back there. Ah, now that looks like there's something back there. Sweet. Okay. Nice. So we've got this these trees that are happening here. I'm hoping that you can see that. And I'm going to lift my thirsty brush. I dabbed it on my, and you can see how it's taken that up?
Yeah.
Yep. Took it right up. You can only do that when, of course, it's wet. And then I'm going to blend that in. And I'm going to clean my edge off here because if it's wet, it's going to make a bloom. There. Okay. And then now I'm going to go up here and form. Nope, I'm going to do my other trees that we don't even have here. I'm going to use this really small brush. And I'm going to do, let's see, that is wet. So I'm going to have to dry this. So I'm going to have to dry it real quick, guys.
And while we are waiting for Tina's piece to dry, I'm also going to drop a link to our live demo survey so you can leave us your feedback, your comments, let us know what other artists you want to join in to have partnerships with etchers. So please go ahead and fill it out. And the grammage of this sketchbook, Marie, is 300 grams. It is the Etcher Perfect Sketchbook.
And it's great. I love it. I like the Perfect Sketchbook, yes. Okay, I am going to do the trunks of the trees that are back here. And the trees that are in the back, and I know the photo doesn't show this, but this is, will show more depth this way. The trees in the back are going to be more blue. So so I'm using the cerulean, and I made it just a little bit dirty by putting some of the other colors in it. And I'm just going to use my finger to dab for the end. And then I'm placing another tree right here, and it's more in the foreground. So it is down on the picture plane, and I will explain that in just a second. And I'm just going to dab that at the bottom. And then as it comes forward, and I'm going to put leaves on them, don't worry. As it comes forward, I'm going to make it more green.
So this is also atmospheric perspective, right?
Yes. So you can see here I have this trees in the back, so it's up on the picture plane. This one's lower, and then the last one will be even lower. So that's giving you that illusion. And also with color. I'm warming this this green up with my cleanser down, and I'm adding a little bit of the cerulean to really make it dark. So I'm having three of the primaries together to get it dark. So it's going to be darker than that one. Oop. Lost my image. Okay, so here we go. And then, of course, I'm getting thicker with my that got like too thick up there, but we'll just thicken the trunk a little bit. Remember, there's no worries. Nothing's a mistake. It's just something that happened, and no worries. You can't be telling you, you know, there's days that you paint better. And then there's days that you might have a little bit more of a challenge, and those days are okay too.
And just to let you know, Tina, we are hitting the 43-minute mark.
Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to go in and put some leaves and stuff here. And I'm going to have to go to my rigger for that. And this is a 2. And it's called a rigger because it has a long shaft here.
I've also heard that they're called liners.
They're called liners, riggers, or scripts. Yes. They have different, I'm going to spritz here. Oh, not that. We don't want that. We just want that. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and just put some foliage on here. And we're going to put some other pieces in here too. Yeah, I was hoping we would get to the other on that one, but so I'm just gonna put some little marks for the foliage here. Little. And as it gets back here, cerulean for that atmospheric perspective. I'm going to give it another squirt here to get that to run a little bit for me. My water bottle is, I got to get my other water bottle. Something wrong with this trigger. There we go. And let that run, and then do this darker part that's right here. And then we'll dry it, and we're going to add some pen and some color pencil. I'm going to put some other marks here to just add a little bit here, and then we'll okay, let's dry it. Give it a good dry.
And remember, everyone, we are having live demos very, very often here on our channel. So make sure that you're subscribed and you hit that bell. Our next live demo will be tomorrow. So make sure you also tune in for that one. And also remember to sign up for Tina's workshop. It's going to be awesome. You're going to learn much more about plein air painting, how to get those beautiful complex color compositions, but with simple harmonies and getting a deeper understanding. So you're going to be able to achieve this loose landscapes of your own that have so much vibrancy and so much beauty. So sign up for her workshop, and I'm going to drop that link one more time. It is on July 15th.
Okay, I'm adding some color pencils in here to bring out some of these gold colors, and then I'm going to add some ink, and I'm going to add put some blue in here. Wait for the blue after the ink. Okay, so I look at what the watercolor gives me, and I add I do a lot of scribble type lines in here.
So would you say it's a little bit of tracing?
I don't want to actually call it that because I have dashes and dots where I'm skipping. And I'm giving a value right here. A value in here in the back, giving it a value. Just where I think that the detail, where it's needed with the detail. I'm hoping that you're able to see that.
Yes.
Our demos are just to give you guys a little preview.
And maybe at the end you can show them the piece they'll be doing for the workshop.
Okay. Okay, and then I will talk more about why I choose the colors that I choose. I use usually my work is a lot brighter. But this is what's good about doing these little sketchbook things, is that you can see
Well, it's a sketchbook, right? Not a finished book.
Oh, yes. It's just a time for you to play and to see what you can do. And then you might decide, oh, I will not use that color scheme. I don't like that color scheme, or I do.
Is it watercolor pencil or just colored pencil?
It's just color pencil. Okay, let's see. Okay, are there other questions before we?
Yes, we have a question about your water bottle.
Yes.
Vivian says that her water bottle throws more of a mist. And is that a different water bottle than the one that you have?
If you tighten it up all the way, and then just keep bringing it out and look at, like, I'm not getting anything, so I'm going to do it again. And I'm not getting anything. And just when I start getting something, that's when you want it. When you're just starting to get, and it gives you these little droplets. And so here we have got our little scene here. And here are some other ones. You know, you can see.
Oh, we can barely see the ones at the bottom.
Yeah. Here. This is really bright here. Let's pull that back. Let me get a, oh, you know what I'll show you is that you can actually erase it out. If that's the color pencil, you can erase some of that out, but that's actually not the colored pencil. So I am going to use a green in there.
You want to knock it back?
And just take a little bit of that color out. Just a little bit of that color, because it was screaming and the zoom. It wasn't as much on here, but that was really screaming there. But yeah, here's another one with those colors too, just using the more of the yellow in there too. If you want to see more of what we're going to be doing for the hour and a half.
Yes, the workshop.
Yes. So we have a scene here by using, I used pretty much the same colors and added some white gouache for some flowers that were in there. And then here's another scene. I think we'll start with this one and then see if we have time for the other one. And then here's a couple of more scenes. Here, this was actually that piece that we were just looking at. And then here's that piece again in a more yellow. Do you like the more blue? More yellow. See, so this is all about experimenting and getting to know your what watercolor will do.
And you're going to be teaching about color palette harmony, right?
That's right.
I'm
Color
so
palette
excited.
harmony. This was how I did those trees with the different values and the trees and dropping in the cerulean. This he has more of the backdrop here, showing some trees done more blue. And then as you come forward, it gets warmer. That gives us that atmospheric perspective.
So thank you so much, Tina, for today's demo. We've been learning so much today. And yeah, thank you for bringing that back up.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to thank everyone for coming today. This was such a blast. We had so much fun. And
well, thank you. I had a lot of fun too. And thank you so much, everybody.
There, you're back.
I'm here. I'm here.
And if you want to learn more about Tina's techniques and support her, please enroll in her mini workshop. It's $6. The website is in Australian dollars. That's why you will see a little bit of a modification in the currency. So that is the change there. But don't hesitate to grab your seat quickly, because Tina's workshops have been known to sell out. So go for it, grab your seat, and have the opportunity to learn more from her, to learn more about Harmonia's simple palettes and learning more about her wonderful techniques. You already know she's a wonderful teacher, so you're gonna have a blast during that class. And please remember to fill out our live demo survey. We wanna hear more from you and learn what else you wanna see from us and what you are enjoying. Like I said, we do read every comment, so make sure you leave us comments. And we will see you for another Etcher live demo. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you again.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. See you later. Bye.